angle to 60 degrees, get the light coming a little more from the side, and I'll also bring the highlights to 20%, the shadows also to 20%. Okay. And the next step is an important one. I need to take this single layer and drag it into its own group folder. What that does is to kind of isolate that bit of boss effect and treat this live effect more like a flat piece of artwork. So with that text in the group folder, I'm going to create a new layer, and I want to be sure it doesn't go into the folder. I'm just going to drag it out here on top. I'm going to rename this layer. I'll call it Horizon. Then I'm going to use my gradient tool. I'll hit D to make sure my colors are set to default. And I'm going to drag a gradient from bottom to top, just a tiny bit larger than the size of the letters. Then in the layers panel, I'm going to hold the Option or the Alt key, and I'll click in between the Horizon layer and the group folder to create a clipping mask so the gradient just fits inside of the letters. Then I'm going to change this layer's blending mode to overlay, and I'm going to bring the opacity to 50%. All right, next is kind of the engine of this Chrome look. Here in the Adjustment Layers menu, I'm going to create a gradient map adjustment layer. And I'm also going to include this gradient map in the clipping mask group by Option or Alt clicking between these layers. Then in the Properties tab for the gradient map, I'm going to click on the gradient to customize it, and I'm going to edit this gradient to create the basis for the Chrome look. So the basic jumping is to bring these two values almost to the exact same spot in the center. So you have this really bright line gradient. Then you're going to want to add a lighter color at the bottom. And then so you kind of end up with two gradients in a row. And this is really the jumping off point. You can almost think of this gradient from an environment sideways. So up here, I can start to introduce colors into the sky, then maybe add some color into the horizon, and kind of push these to start. I spent more time messing with these gradients.
Runs and everything? Runs and everything? Yeah.
Distance.
Go put in some floors, dog. Let's go put in some floors. Oh shit.
Here, just enough to kind of bend the wing.
Oh snap. What's up, guys? What's up, T-Town? Corey Case. How's it going? Dave Weimer, George, Jamal. Because they go to a school or something, had the best tools doesn't make them a good tenor either. I agree. I think good tenor is from experience and learning from experiences. being open-minded, being up for new things, understanding that there's not just one way to do everything.
What did I miss?
You missed George's rant that just because you went to school or something, or you have the best tools, doesn't make you a good tinner. And I wholeheartedly agree.
Well, I don't know, because I mean, I have the best tools, and I did go to school, and I am the best tinner. So it's arguable. But
it is arguable.
I do see his point, because I mean, I allow you to have the best tools, and I schooled you, and you are not the best tinner.
No.
No?
Well, we're not
You might
saying
be.
best tinner. We're not saying best tinner. We're saying good tinner.
Well, you're a good tinner.
I don't know. I might be getting there.
Well, give you a week off, you come back and you suck ass for the first half of the day. But I think every young tinner experiences that. Charles did, and look at him now. Although rumor has it he takes a week off and he comes back and he has the same problem again. So
he did tell me that if I learn how to better handle my film into position and get rid of the contamination that I get from time to time on the sides, that I'd be unstoppable.
Dude, that is key. Placement is key. Everybody always seems to want to over prep and over prep and over prep. Clean is clean. Once you get the window clean, the problem is after that, and like Charles was saying about placement is your next most important thing. And after that, it's struggle. So, and that's why a lot of people are leaning towards the bottom loading, is because a lot of times it takes the struggle out of, the only thing they got to worry about is placement. If they get placement right, it kind of falls into place. Where a two-stager, you've got placement and then you've got tucking, and there can be struggle in between those two, and you pick up serious contamination during a struggle. So it's huge.
Yo, I feel like most of my struggle comes from when I have my hand up, and the first corner I put in is usually the back corner because it's a bigger surface area.
Yes.
And then I run it across, and then I tuck in my next corner. But somehow when I do that, I always end up accidentally tacking my film. So when I go to the other side to see if I'm covered on both sides, and I learn that I'm covered on one side more than the other, and I have to shift it a little bit, that's when things get tacked up. And then I overmove, and then one corner is like above the top edge, and then I gotta like bring that back down, and I'm tacked there too now, and then it's like if I could only just like get it in my head and in my body movement that like if I just place it right the first time, then I wouldn't have to.
Well, see, a lot of that is just the inability to pay attention to both hands at the same time. And because we're dealing with a pressure sensitive adhesive, while you're straightening up that front edge, your other palm is probably putting a little more pressure in the spot, holding it in place. The heat from your hand is going to encourage the film to tack right there. It's like a trick that we use with PPF. If you get a spot that you can't tack, sometimes you'll place the palm of your hand on that spot so that the heat transfer from your hand into the film causes it to tack. And you're going to get some of that same effect with window tint. So if you go to place this side up while you're working on this side you're not paying attention to. Now you're focusing on this hand, and you're pushing this hand down, even though you're being gentle with this. All of a sudden now your palm's starting to push on this. So it's practice. And George, you're right. The guy that's only been handling a squeegee for a couple of weeks, he's got a lot to do. The only way I've ever seen somebody good inside of a couple of weeks, I have one guy that I trained, and he was a finished carpenter, and he did a lot of wallpaper. So he took to window tinting like it was almost a natural change for him. But the other way that I've seen somebody inside of a week be able to handle film is I blew him through a 60-inch roll of film. And this wasn't on all windows. This was just on doors, but it was Charles. And for a solid week, I gave him an unlimited supply of film. He went through about a 60-inch roll or 3 20-inch rolls, doing one door over and over and over again. 8 hours a day for a full 5 days. Oh, yeah, we decided we can't find good help these days, so we got some child labor. Ryan's training him. So, but
Dude,
he's
Jay
family,
Bird-
so it's not child labor because it's family, so it's called chores. We skated around
Dude,
those rules.
I understand, like, use more soap, but you gotta understand, like, Charles, I work with Charles, and he uses way too much soap, in my opinion. He does, like, the recommended amount of Tint Slime Ultra on top of 5 pumps of Dawn. And that is just, like, it's way too slippery. It's gotten to the point where, like, so he's got a torch, but I got, like, a shitty torch. So, I'm noticing he's like hitting the top edge. He'll hit like the left, the center, and then the right, and then roll it up. And like, I'm just not getting enough torch time because my torch doesn't stay lit enough. And so then when I go roll down, sometimes it like moves on me, and then I get that one giant mountainous finger in the middle, and it's just like, oh man.
Yeah, so if you have to use heat to tack your top edge, you're using too much solution. There's a million different reasons, or maybe not a million, but there's a lot of different reasons why your film prematurely tacks. One of them we just discussed about placement when you place it, and sometimes you stop paying attention to the one hand, and your heat transfer from your hand plus the pressure causes your film to tack prematurely or before you want it to. The other, and I feel like, God, I really wished I didn't have tin on this truck I just bought. I got to strip and retint the windows on the truck, and I thought I was going to let Charles do it, but who knows? Maybe we'll do a segment on that, and we'll use, maybe we'll take a couple shots at it. One with really slippery slip, and one with really tacky slip, and I can show you guys that you can get better results with tacky slip, and you're going to get better longevity. A lot of times people are failing, or windows are failing, and people are just naturally blaming the film. And sometimes it is the film. There's a lot of garbage film out there. I'm not going to argue that. I've seen my share of it. But I've seen good film fail where most people don't have a problem with it. So we have to look a little deeper. And one thing I can promise you is you only squeegee so much solution out once you lay the film, and the rest of it has to evaporate and dry. So the more slip solution, or the more, you know what I'm saying, the more soap you put in your water, the more soap there is that has to dry out, and the water will dissipate and go away completely, but the soap dries and stays forever. That soap is creating a barrier between the glass and the adhesive. So this is a hurdle, and this is a learning experience that you have to get past, because if you don't, just over time, you're going to find that you can't find a film good enough to just work for you, because it ain't, it's like the reason that you have to put antifreeze in with your water and your radiator. I mean, you can get by with just water, but it ain't going to last. It ain't going to work. There's a reason for everything that we do. And the reason that your goal is to add as little slip solution as possible, because that's going to make your film last as long as possible.
And we don't tent in cool weather. I know geographically it would seem like Michigan would be colder, but lately it hasn't been cold.
And even if so, we got these magical things called heaters, you know, and we tint in 72, 74-degree weather all year round because that's what we set our climate control on. And the car comes in and it leaves room temperature. You squeegee out all the solution or as much as possible. And why is there antifreeze in the car though? Because antifreeze keeps the, wait a minute, that's not the point. But antifreeze keeps the water from boiling. And it also keeps the water from freezing in cold climates like ours. So there's that. But it gives the water a wider range of functionality, because some cars will run at like 220 to 230 degrees, which is really hot, especially since water by itself will boil at 212. So, but we're not talking about that. That was an analogy. But
Jaber asked, what do you do with a sticky window that Rewind to Raw don't fix?
the problem may not be the window. But Rewind to Raw is an abrasive, kind of like liquid sandpaper. So if used properly, Rewind to Raw will fix any hydrophobic window, any window with a coating on it. It'll take the coating off. But set that aside. As was mentioned, a torch will work. I don't recommend using a torch because more and more I notice in our industry, we have a harder time paying attention to details, and it's easy to burn stuff. And the manufacturing process of these vehicles, there's a lot of things that go into these vehicles that aren't of the same thickness or quality as it was before. So it becomes real easy to burn something. But one thing that I did learn is ATR works. Spray a little bit of ATR on the window, wipe it in with the cloth, clean it off, and boom, your window's no longer beating. ATR is an amazing product that has many, many uses. You know, initially I created Rewind to Raw to remove hydrophobic coatings. What I noticed is it really lightens up scratches. It'll take stains out of windows. If you get a metal rub on a window that leaves that shiny, like chromish look on it, it'll take that off. And you know, there's a million things. You know, Tupperware was, I believe, the first company to offer up the little chiseler, which will bring me to my next point. But they used it to scrape pans. We discovered it's an amazing tool for window tint. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit, because everybody knows about TintWiz. Does anybody here like TintWiz? I mean, are they an okay company? I feel like they give back a little bit, and they just gave a great big, okay, it wasn't great big, but it was a pretty big box full of these things. And it's the little Whistler. I love it. It's based off the white chiseler, and it's amazing. I love the white chiseler because it handles the heat. And so we've got these, and for right now, every order that's over $50 is going to get one of these and a Fusion keychain squeegee and a bottle opener, because for whatever reason I felt that everybody needs to have a beer that you have to open with a bottle opener. So I got 1,000 bottle openers that I'm just going to give away too. So we got little packages, and every order over $50 not only gets free UPS ground shipping, but is also going to get this little package, and it's going to have one of these. It's also going to come with, he sent us a bunch of these cards, which will give you the ability to go in there and download the app and use it for free. See that? Try it for free. And that way everybody can get a taste of what is possible and growth in our industry. So that's super cool. And we're going to be doing that. Like I said, everybody over a $50 order. And if you've noticed inflation lately, we don't get many orders under $50. So I don't think that's much of a qualifier. And everybody wants a purple chiseler, and you saw him here first. Why? Because Eric DeVosh, I believe, loves us. Because I don't know, we love and support TintWiz. It's just Alex. We have an employee. Alex is doing tool talk. We got other people that work here that can answer the phone. And what does he do? He mutes his microphone and answers the phone. That is just so awesome. And then he takes his headphone off because he doesn't want to hear me talking about him. Anyhow, though, Billy frickin' Murray needs one. Well, Billy frickin' Murray, I could probably work something out for you. Dusty. Yeah, we've actually sent a few of them out. The guys haven't got quite in the rhythm of doing it on a regular basis, so we're working on that. But so you guys know when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And well, these guys are an extension of me when it comes to that
Click
sort of
the
thing.
blinky red button.
Alex, just so you know, when you take your headphones off, it doesn't mute you.
I know. I noticed that when I turned my head and seen the green light.
He said, click the Well, we used to have another employee. The other employee, so yeah, he's got his son here. He's only working a half day today. He's got babysitter issues because his babysitter decided that COVID was a good thing to have for a little while. So he found out that this week he doesn't have a babysitter. So he's worked out every day except for today and tomorrow, and then he'll be good to go because he's got an alternate. But on such short notice, sometimes that's messed up. So, and yeah, I want a cool name like that. Alex, did you break the thing?
My picture disappeared.
Yeah, well, you should fix it. You fixed it. What'd you do?
I clicked
What'd you
enable
do?
camera.
That's important.
Oh, I think I might have accidentally hit V on the keyboard, which means disable camera.
Oh my God, that is so cool. So like we could disappear you and you could still talk to people.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we learned something new today, guys. Does Helios work with Dawn? Yes. Every single window film on the market works with Dawn. Okay. I know I'm in the business to sell slip solution and, you know, I need to promote this stuff, but I'm going to tell you guys the truth. And honestly, Dawn is a great product for window film. I've used Dawn for the majority of my 35 years in this business. Since I've been distributing, I have used Fusion All-Type because I need to support somebody. I have also, okay, maybe you can. So, I have used the slip solutions that I sell mainly because I want to support people in our industry. If you do the math, because you use less of the slip solution that you buy versus the soap that you can buy from the stores, it's actually the same price or cheaper to use the slip solution that's made for tint. But there is no harm. Even Johnson's baby shampoo. You know, a lot of people say baby shampoo is terrible because it coagulates and it forms a gunk in your tank so fast, and it does because there are extra additives. But I've never seen problems arise from window film as a result of it. What's up, Cash? Hey, Cash, you're going to be disappointed. I don't know if you caught it last week, but I traded in the Telluride. And I kind of was bummed out about it. But I got a really sweet Silverado, so I'm less bummed out about it. But I needed something that could haul a car hauler. And I wasn't going to do that to the Telluride. I don't think it's made for that. But anyways, yeah, back to Slip Solution. I also Palmolive. I was introduced to window film with Palmolive, and I used that for a lot of years, and that was wonderful. And then I also used I believe my favorite, because I felt most comfortable with it, was the Ivory Ultra, which I started having a hard time finding it. But Ivory Ultra had a real nice concentrate to it, so I didn't have to use a ton of it. And it was clear. So I didn't have to, in the back of my mind, worry about what if, there's some staining or discoloration. And that's something I always worried about with Dawn. But believe it or not, all the years that I used Dawn, I never had a problem with staining anything. So I don't think that's a thing, but maybe it could be. But so that's my take on is this soap or that soap safe for. I've even used laundry detergent, primarily because when I did mobile, I real quick had a break in my day, and one of my accounts had a set of doors to do real quick, and I was just going to run over there and do it, and I forgot my bottle. So I had no way to apply the film. Had my tools, everything there, but no slip solution. And it was a detail shop, so I'm like, you guys got an extra trigger sprayer? And they're like, well, we got one you can rinse out. I'm like, cool, good enough, and I'm like, how about soap? They're like, we got some hand soap. And I'm like, oh no, there's lots of perfumes and stuff in hand soap. I don't think that's a good idea. And then they don't have no dish soap because they don't have a reason for it. And I'm like, laundry soap, do you use liquid or powder? And they're like, liquid. I'm like, let me try that. I don't remember what brand it was, but it worked wonderfully. The thing I felt cool about with it was it didn't suds up, but it did work. But that was the only experience I've had with laundry soap. So don't ask me if it works longevity wise. And Dawn eats Solar FX glue. I will send you pictures. So Solar FX with a company like that, and I'm not, don't take this as if I'm bashing anybody's company, but if you notice, they got like 8 or 9 different film lines. I don't know what film line you're using, but my guess is you're a little leaning towards the economy side. If a film company is carrying that many film lines, chances are they're carrying a lower standard for the person that wants to buy the best name and the cheapest cost. I don't know a good way to say that, but I like Solar FX. I think they got some great films, but with that many lines of film, I also think that they probably have some garbage films. In this industry, especially right now, you get what you pay for. So with this heat lately, I switched to Tint Slime Ultra and still have to use more than 2 ounces per gallon for a good slime. This time of year also, guys, because it is hot, and even if we have an air conditioned shop, we're not air conditioning our shops overnight. Don't use today's soap tomorrow. Try to gauge how much soap and solution you need for today, and just mix every day. You'll be good with it. Ajax soap. I've heard of people using Ajax soap. I personally haven't ever tried it, but I have heard of it. But I think Ajax dish soap is something that I started noticing after I stopped using dish soap. And I currently still don't use, well, actually, I don't even remember the last time I tinted a car. I barely remember the last time I tinted a house, but I remember when I made the decision to stop tinting houses and stuff, because that was its own thing. Oh wow. So, and here's where, I see a lot of arguing on the groups about, this or that, my way's the right way kind of stuff. And I see Jason, Mr. Tint Lawson, says the only dish soap he found that doesn't work well is the Ajax dish soap. But then I see Ryan Edgar saying Ajax dish soap is all I use. So another thing that I notice a lot, especially with some of you newer guys, is asking for advice. And the reality is you don't worry about what I use or what I don't use. I mean, to gather the information is great, but to say this has to work because it's what such and such uses, that's bad, because you're gonna find your own path. That old phrase, there's more than one way to skin a cat, which I don't even know anybody that's ever skinned a cat, but I think that's besides the point. I think the reality is we're all gonna find something that works better for us than it works for somebody else, and vice versa. We're going to find something that works really well for somebody that we can't figure out how to make it a part of our day. So all type solution user here for everything: graffiti film, commercial tint, PPF, auto tint. Yeah, last I was touching tint, the only thing that I used was all type. And Jaybird's got a good point too. Different films, different claimants matter. And it does, because there might only be a few film manufacturers out there, and the rest of us all are Reeboxers. But there are so many formulas that go into so many different films that there's a lot of differences. So where one person might use Expel, which is a really aggressive adhesive film, and they might use this as a slip, somebody else might use, I don't even know, something with a less aggressive adhesive that's too much slip, or vice versa. And the Expel users like, I can't use that because it's not enough slip. But one thing I can tell you is if you are a person that uses more and more slip and feels the need to use more slip than most people say is good, then you might want to use a slip with less additives. So there's Film On, there's Tint Slime, there's Fusion All Type, and those are 3 viable options that they're basically stripped down versions of soap. So they don't have the lotions in them, they don't have the scents in them. Well, okay, so Tint Slime has this added scent and also has an added color. It's part of their marketing. The color in Tint Slime is a UV dye, so it disappears. And the scent, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but none of them have any lotion in them, which, lanolin is a bad thing, and stuff like that. So that's another reason why baby shampoo, if you're struggling, you need to use a lot of something. Baby shampoo is not a great option because it's got lotions in it, and those lotions, they just add a layer of a barrier between the film and the glass. So I use Helios and Flex film and notice a difference between the 2 lines. Okay. One thing that I know is also the film construction can be identical between, we'll take Helios for instance. The Nova and the Supernova, the carbon and the ceramic, are totally exactly the same construction, right down to the adhesive. What's funny is why is Ryan still on the phone? So ceramic, the Supernova has actually an oxide layer in it that gives it that supercharged properties. It gives you the amazing heat rejection on top of the already amazing heat rejection from this construction of the film. And that one extra layer that's into the integration causes the adhesive to appear less tacky. Now, there's a whole lot of sciencey shit going on there that I don't understand, but I'll tell you, it's a real thing. If you use the two films, you'll notice that one tacks up real nice and firm quickly, and the other one, although it has great adhesion, it doesn't tack up as fast. It's not as easy to get to stick. A lot of people use a lot less soap when it comes to the Supernova, but they're the same adhesive on both films. So go figure. There's a lot of factors involved in and tacking your film. The biggest one that we can control is the way we handle and place the film. You know, use your fingertips, don't use your palms. That's a big one. And be gentle with it. It's a pressure sensitive adhesive. When you spray and peel the liner, make sure that you coat the entire piece of tint 100%. Don't just get it all dripping wet. I watch so many people tint and I see them spray their film and it's dripping water, but they've got no consistency to the way they spray it, and they got hollow spots or dry spots. And then you stick it to the window and it sticks. Don't count on placing or spraying the window and getting the window wet enough. The more you spray the window, it promotes backflush and contamination in the window. When you see me tint a window, you'll notice that I'll rinse the edges down, but I'll lay a door pattern on a dry window. And people are like, well, aren't you going to wet the window? Hell no, I'm not going to wet the window. I mean, how do you think I get my film so clean? I do everything I can to cut out the option for contamination. And so I'm not wetting the window, I'm wetting the film. And I was taught to make sure that the film is absolutely. No, I'm not out of 3-gallon kegs. Does it say I'm out of 3-gallon kegs? Hold on. Must look. Oh,
It
that's a
shouldn't,
scary thought.
because you watched me change it.
I didn't watch you check to make sure it took.
Oh, yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. 3-gallon keg. Be plastic wrap. Oh, out of stock.
Is it tank only is out of stock?
No,
It could be like, is there like
no.
a part?
Shh. I'm fixing it. I can't pay attention to you asking me questions and concentrate on what I'm trying to do here. That worked. 3-gallon tint keg. That? What is broken about my tint kegs? Let's see.
Oh, it's plastic sprayer. We have 2
Are we out of
left.
plastic spray? I'll fix that real quick. Oh, it looks like we're getting low on wraps too. Very interesting. So checking it now, it says dun dun dun. Oh, now it says I got 2 in stock. And the sprayer handles finally just shipped out today, so we'll have those. What is today? Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll have them Thursday. So yeah, we're not out of we're not out of kegs, but the website was showing that we were out of plastic sprayer handles, even though we had 2 left. Actually, oh, I thought I had one in here. I do. So we got 3 left because I'm too lazy to put stuff in here. Oh, that's in here away. So, oh, there goes Alex again. Oh, did you see what's going on out there? So sometimes, he was just saying how he doesn't understand the terrible twos, what people say about that, but oops, let me so here he is. This side up stickers. Looks like the kid got a hold of the roll of the side up stickers and unrolled the whole thing. Go Ryan. Go Ryan. Oh, look, he's trying to help. Here, Daddy. I got to know. Oops. That's some funny stuff there. Oh, we should have been down here like this, and then we could have. Look, now the kid's mad. You took my stickers away, Daddy. I want more. I'm over here. Give me more stickers. He's like, no. I'm going to find you a cartoon and you're going to sit down and watch it. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. He's like, you sit here, you watch this cartoon. Don't mess with Daddy's stuff. Yeah. I am done having children like a long time ago, so that's good. Dave Weimer needs more funny roll down stickers, Alex. Can you price 3-gallon with stainless steel ball lock, inline filter, red? Red hoses, we don't know when that's going to be back in stock. It's on back order. It's been back order for a couple of months now.
We seen it.
The whole world seen it.
The whole world seen the stickers. It was a good time.
There's a problem with the order though.
Stainless steel, you said with inline filter. How many feet of hose?
50 foot.
50 foot. What kind of sprayer?
Yeah. It's 3-gallon stainless steel ball lock, inline filter, red hose, brass sprayer, fan tip, radioactive. And he wants a double hose setup, so there'll need to be another hose and the dual hose conversion kit. And you'll have to look at blue or something because yeah, red's out of stock.
Well, it would be 385 plus
The hose conversion shit. In a second.
$28.99, I think, plus
Yeah, 20
what, like 150 ish.
ish. Yeah, for a 50-foot hose setup.
Oh no, 50-foot hose setup's gonna be a little more than that, I think.
I don't know. Alex is a go-getter. You see this cash? I'd be like, I don't know. Go to the website, add it to your cart. Alex could have
It might
added it
be
to
like
his cart, but he
stainless
didn't.
steel, inline filter, brass. It's 220.
Okay.
So you're looking at a little over 700. Maybe somewhere between 7 and 8. Oh, Ryan says there's something wrong with this order. I'm gonna go check. I'll be back.
Okay. Something wrong with the order. I don't believe him. So where was we? Oh, my website's funny sometimes, guys. It tends to it tends to sometimes autofill the state to Michigan for you, no matter where you are. And sometimes that causes problems for people. It doesn't cause problems for me because I pick up on it because I've seen it enough times. And it doesn't do it consistently enough that I can find any kind of a problem in a setting or anything. I've checked, so it is what it is. But when you go to check out, and the other thing too is I've had a lot of international people check out and then email me wanting to cancel their order because they were never told that the shipping was going to be that much. Can somebody tell me when you check out on my website, doesn't it tell you a total that you're being charged before you click complete order? Because I'm pretty sure it does. I mean, I don't order from my website very often, but I don't know. I mean, I understand that to you guys, you get free shipping, but you still have to pick a shipping option. And next to the shipping options, you have like next day and stuff, and you have to select. And isn't there a price and a estimated delivery date also? Because like I pay for all those features. Oh, yeah, I thought so, Trace. But I don't want to just be like, no, you're wrong, you're dumb, because maybe they're not wrong. Maybe the website's dumb, but I try to make it as less dumb as possible. Also, a chance to get expedited shipping. Yep. Yeah, for the people that's been emailing me, because I've had 2 this week already, and it's like, I don't know. I when I get up in the morning, I make a cup of coffee, I sit down and I drink coffee and I check my emails overnight because once the day gets started, sometimes it's hard to pay attention to the emails. So I want to make sure that I caught anything that's pressing. And these people are always emailing overnight saying that stuff, which makes sense if they're in a different country, they're in a different time zone, but I don't know. I don't have enough coffee in me usually to be friendly or polite or very go out of my way for them. So I'm just like, okay. And I go and refund and cancel the order. And then I respond to their email. The order's been canceled and refunded. That's not very good customer service. But, you know, that's something that I've noticed as of late is customer service, like everywhere, is starting to go to shit. And even companies that I felt like I was getting great customer service from, today I had to call, and my supplier for the sprayers and stuff for the kegs, they're out of New Jersey, and I love them because it's a family owned and operated company. Although they're a little more than family, they got a lot of employees too, because they're pretty big small company. But they used to always reach out when I would order something. You know, I mean, I spend probably $50,000-$60,000 a year with them, and they used to always reach out if there was something missing that I ordered. And last week I ordered sprayer handle, and it's 2-day shipping, and they always ship out same day. They monitor what I order, and we actually discuss my needs ahead of time so that they have it in stock and ready to ship for me. Well, when I ordered last week, I never got anything. And today I noticed that shit is like running out, and I'm like, where is my stuff? And I went to check on the website to see my open orders and see if maybe I didn't enter it or something. And the website froze up. So I called him, and he's like, no, I see it here, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I explained to him that, you know, with supply shortages and stuff, I understand it's exhausting, but the only thing we have left is customer service. And we need to keep trying to at least stay on top of that, because that's the one thing that we have control over, whether we run out of or not, you know. So, and Trace, you're right, people do wear so many hats, but that's what I was just discussing, how I'm getting exhausted. Like these international people, when they do something that I deem as like negligent on their part, I just kind of like, whatever, okay, canceled, refunded, problem solved. You know, where normally I would be like, well, let's see what I can find out, see what I can do. Because I mean, the reality is they ordered from me, so they probably want products from me. I don't believe that they think that they get free shipping, but I don't know. Just something that we have to do a little better. You know, I had a customer that was using Avery Dennison ceramic film, and it's known, and Avery Dennison knows that I don't promote their ceramic film. I don't like it. My ceramic, you know, I mean, if you want to ask me about my Orbit or Avery's NR Pro, I'm going to be like, whichever one you like working with the most, because they're both great films. The Orbit's a little less expensive because it's my own brand, and I can do that where I'm distributing the Avery, so there's not as much of a margin there to work with. But aside from that, you know, the choice is yours. But if you ask me about ceramic, I'm not going to tell you that I would buy the Avery, because I wouldn't buy the Avery, and I don't buy the Avery. I would buy the Helios Supernova. Well, some customers will buy the Avery and use the Avery because Avery Dennison is a big name, and it's a good name, and they're a very good company and all that blah, blah, blah stuff. And I had a customer be like, look, man, I've been using this and I've been trying to live with it, but I don't love it. I don't want to use it anymore. And I was wondering if there's anything you could do. I got 2 brand new rolls. I mean, I got a bunch of partial rolls, but I got 2 brand new rolls, and I just want to change films. And so I bought his 2 rolls back. And I don't know any company that'll do that with no questions asked. But it's just those little things that I just feel like, you know, if you don't want some, I mean, if I buy something from a store and decide I don't want it and it's still brand new in the box, I expect I should be able to get my money back. But in our industry, that's just not a thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a rich guy, so I can't just be giving everybody, I can't be buying everybody's film back, you know, especially if you're short of money and you got film on the shelves and your business is slow and you just want to sell a couple rolls back. And Orbit is fantastic. Helios is fantastic. DW, raise your prices. Oh, Tint World just opened up near. Tim World, typically I've heard that they're actually a little more expensive. And not like they're an expensive shop, but I've never heard somebody say that Tint World was a whore in the market. I
No.
but
I just went on their
maybe.
website and it's pretty cool. They got 5 stores across America. They seem to be a franchise. They're repping the IWFA logo, Skin Cancer Foundation, Auto Care Association, Automotive Service Excellence, SEMA, MECP. They claim to use their own film, which is probably, you know, the film we all know about.
Yeah. Well, one thing about Tint World is they do like to self-brand their film. So
Yeah.
you don't necessarily, I believe that their buying process is through corporate. So corporate buys it and reboxes it. And I personally don't know what film they use, but I've been told theories, but I don't know. I've never confirmed it. Don't care. I know they don't buy film from me.
DW. Scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money. Rick Tallman
What's
says
up,
Suntech.
Tallman?
Tallman knows all the things. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
Wonder how they're you know what? I'm gonna go on Suntech's website. I'm curious.
You should go on Suntech's website. What do I recommend for Helios prices? So here in Michigan, where we got a lot of competition, and in 2013, the average four-door dyed film car was $165 complete. Our current pricing and what Jaybird is saying is absolutely true because our current pricing is $289 for dyed, $389 for carbon, and $489 for ceramic. And that's for a four-door sedan. And I think I can take credit for changing the market because, well, it was an accident. It wasn't because I was smart and I knew psychology. But what Jaybird is saying is correct because we serviced wholesale serviced a lot of different shops. We had a bunch of us tinners that got together and took care of stereo shops and glass shops, detail shops, any kind of shop that their tinners would want window tint. But they wouldn't be able to sell window tint enough to pay a good window tinner. So it was kind of a moot point for them. And then so we came in and we're like, look, we're going to take 75% of your money. You're going to make 25% off of it. We're going to allow you to schedule up to 3 days a week. We're going to start you at 1 day a week. And if you can fully book that 1 day a week, we'll give you a second day a week and so on and so forth. But you handle the customer, handle the scheduling. This is your day a week that you can schedule. And we'll come in and handle the tint and the warranties and all that stuff. And it was a nice handshake. And so we were up to about 16 different locations that we serviced. And because of that, we kind of dominated Southeast Michigan without really making a difference in any other buddy's pocketbooks. But what they noticed is on these given days, the shops we serviced were busy. And because tint shops call around and find out what other tint shops are charging, they were finding out we were charging a lot more than them because these tint shops couldn't sell a tint job for $165 and then pay us 75% of it. And then they're basically losing money because we're using the bay. So they had to up their prices in order to create a big enough profit for them to allow us to use their bay so that they could make money off of the deals. And it just happened to work out that all those other tint shops started following the price up. So even though the race to the bottom or the race to zero is real, the race up is real too. But somebody's got to start the race. And it worked. And here we are in 2022, and we're almost $300 for a dyed complete in Michigan, where people don't need window film. Up here in Michigan, window film's a luxury item. And people put it on their cars because it looks good more than they put it on their cars because they want to block heat or anything.
DW needs to work on some business to business salesmanship.
Yeah. If you guys really want to kickstart your deal, you can walk into any place that you know should sell tint but doesn't, and just offer them up that deal that I just laid out. Tell them you're going to charge them. Even if you told them, I know people that do what we did and they only charge 60%. And any business owner is going to jump on a deal to make 40% of the ticket. But at 60%, them getting 40%, it doesn't leave a lot of meat on the bone for you, for one. And it also doesn't encourage them to raise their prices. The more percentage you take off the ticket, and remember, they don't employ you, they don't insure you, they don't pay you as far as on a payroll or anything like that. You bill them, and they pay their invoice. So you're one of their vendors, just like if it's a stereo shop, just like Pioneer, instead of buying radios from you, they're buying tint jobs from you. So it works out really nice. And you can have 5 different shops and work 5 days a week and make thousands of dollars a week for yourself just by doing that. And ignore all the naysayers that say, oh, well, you need better profit margins than that. I wrote my own paychecks when I did that, before I was a distributor, before I was anything other than just a subcontract tinner. I was, making $3,000 a week, $3,500 a week. I mean, don't get me wrong, the hustle was real, but I also only had to work 5 days a week if I wanted to. And I was making that kind of money off of other people's businesses. So it's a real deal. And
yeah.
DW, you do not need a real logo.
I just texted him. I told him I'll make him a logo. I'm not going to charge him, but if he wants to tip, I'll gladly accept that.
Yeah. So if you want to be in the public's eye and you want to do a lot of marketing and draw retail business to you, I believe a logo really adds professionalism. But Tint Squad, our other company, Tint Squad was doing 6,000 cars a year at its busiest, or actually more than 6,000, but roughly 6,000 cars a year at its busiest. And how do I show Tint Squad's logo? It's just Arial black font that says Tint Squad with a cartoon sunshine. It is as third grade as you can get. I created it myself, and I didn't even try. I stole the sunshine from Google Photos, and I wrote Tint Squad. And that's been the logo since 2013 when it was created. But our market wasn't retail. Now our market is retail, and we don't really care about the logo. We almost rebranded it once, and then we backed out and didn't, and it is what it is.
Use what as a tax write-off? The logo or just graphics in general? I'm sure you could.
They can use those tinners as a tax write-off. Well, absolutely. But remember, all the money that they keep aside from us is still their income, but they use us as income. The tax write-off is negligible compared to the money we can make them.
hey, I make enough under the table money to where, hey, I'll work with you on that. If you want to fudge your numbers, I'll fudge mine. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to tax evade.
I was going to say somebody else's talk show, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now, so Mary just gave me the option. She was like, so far, I got you on this amount of money hourly, but I have been thinking about putting you on commission. This is what you would have made today hourly versus this is how much you would made commission. Which would you rather pick? Oh, by the way, if you pick commission, I will have to tax you. So
Yeah,
it
you'll
was
go on
like,
payroll at that point. Then you'll work for two
yeah,
different companies. But one of the benefits to working for Tin Squad is it opens up the door to healthcare.
yeah.
I mean, you already have healthcare, but that's probably not going to last forever.
Probably not. I
So
give it 2
yeah,
years.
options are there for sure, 100%. So
Maybe I
was
do. Huh?
the commission option like way better?
For that particular day, no, but
Oh,
most days it would. Don't forget, we had that rough start.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was the day that Charles's jobs didn't show up, so you guys split everything.
No, it was it was honestly just one job that I feel like didn't show up. But no, to make the rough start, it was so the first hiccup was actually Charles's fault, and he apologized really hard about it because it was a Silverado, and he just auto assumed it was a 2500 cab style, but I think it was a 1500 cab style. So like the window, the film plot was like kind of big, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. It was just the wrong cab
Oh.
style. I was installing film that didn't belong on that window. And he like laughed about it because I just kept getting caught. I couldn't get the film to tuck. Like I got the one corner in, and I couldn't get the other corner in. I'm like, Charles, what am I doing wrong here? And then he like looked at the car. He was like, oh, dude, I think I plotted the wrong print. I'm like, oh, that would explain a lot. Because I never really had a Silverado kick my ass before. But yeah, that happened. I think we ended up doing that window 4 times because after that we were kind of like getting a little behind, and then something else happened the second time. I don't remember. Third time, Charles was like, "Let me just take over," and then like he creased it or something because he was just trying to like blow through it and wasn't careful, and then it was like finally got it the fourth time. That it was a
I've
cursed window.
I've done that before. It really sucks, especially when it's like a Silverado. One of the
And then that
easiest
just kind of
vehicles on the
like
planet.
that window pretty much set the mood for the rest of the day, and it was just kind of like shit. It was just one window, Scott. It was just one window.
It was just one window, 2 hours.
I don't know what
A
the
lot
hell
of cussing
happened
and
there.
one broken heat gun. So, how many of you guys have ever thrown your heat gun across the shop? Honestly, raise the hands. I can't be the only one.
Your
Well,
your retractable uh cord whipped a heat gun at me
well,
the
that's
other day.
different.
Yeah, like I just like ever so lightly bumped it with my leg, and then it pulled it right off the peel board and smacked me.
You're bad luck, Alex. Oh hell.
Through your yellow turbo. That doesn't count. I mean, maybe I guess it kind of counts.
It counts, and it's a whole lot less costly. Got Lillard's throwing water bottles.
I've seen Rick throw everything off the plotter table.
Oh my God. You were there for that? I don't
Yeah,
usually
it was.
lose my shit, but when I lose my shit, I lose it all.
I think it was like the second failed attempt of a windshield. I don't even remember what car it was. And it was like the girls just like book things like way too tight, and that was like already pissing you off, like to begin with.
Jason says he's thrown his heat gun and tool belt right out the shop door. Like, get out.
My favorite was when I ground slammed my Poly 2 sprayer while it was pressurized, and then the top cracked off, and like the rest of it just flew like a rocket. I've done that
Oh,
before.
we need to warn people. But we have a customer that actually ran over his scuttle shuttle. So just keep in mind it's on wheels and it'll follow you around. But just like a heat gun, and I'm sure some of you guys have ran over your heat gun before, apparently you can run over your scuttle shuttle too. And it's not good. But yeah, so don't make sure all your tools are away from the vehicle before you pull it out, because bad things can happen.
We need to do like a promotional thing like America's Funniest Home Videos where we just like run a clip of us going, "Hey, do you have a funny security cam footage of yourself accidentally whipping a heat gun or running over a scuttle shuttle? You have the opportunity to win a package of tools." Submit your video to sundistributingllc@gmail.com. And we just like sit here on Tool Talk Tuesday and just laugh at all of our mess ups.
Yeah, that'll happen from time to time. So yeah, here's our phone number to text us if you have a little security cam video that you can send us. We'll show it live because we just like to do that. We won't make fun of you. We'll make fun with you.
Funny Video Friday. Ooh, Friday's tough.
Friday is tough. Every day's kind of tough this year. Would be fun comedy. So that's what we gotta make Ryan and Alex bug people for funny little video clips. I don't know. I don't know if we could do it every Friday, but we could do it every now and again.
Honestly, David, Friday's a hit or miss. It's either really, really busy because people are trying to get their stuff before the weekends, or it's just dead and extremely slow.
Friday, we usually have a lower amount of stuff shipping out. But Friday is when a lot of our local guys are like, oh shit, it's almost the weekend. And we get a lot of walk in traffic on Fridays.
And sometimes pallets come in on Fridays. In
And
inventory stuff.
sometimes we only think pallets are coming in on Fridays and we sit around waiting for them and they don't show up. Because apparently that's a thing now. And then Monday comes, our busiest day of the week, and we get 5 pallets of shit all at once because Monday seems to be a good time to bring all that shit.
Rick Thomas trying to feed that guy to the fishes.
Hey Rick, if you're gonna go around to all these tint shops, you need to secretly take videos, and if you get any stuff like that, go ahead and send it to us, and we'll post it up and make fun of them for you, because we're that kind of friend. Oh, I don't know. So, yeah, things lately, I don't know about you guys, but they've been really exhausting us over here. Is just and it's been going on for 2 years. I just feel like it should be getting better and it's not. And I'm not sure. Maybe it's getting worse, but maybe it's not. It just we're getting exhausted. Rick, you can send them to us anonymously. It'll be fine. That's a very large water, Alex.
It is very
You bought
large.
you bought a whole
How
case
much?
of those, huh?
Yeah, look how much I drank. I drank 0.75 liters, roughly. Am I a millionaire? No, I'm far from it.
I'm not a millionaire either. I probably could be if I was a little more responsible. But I stopped making big money when I stopped tinting. And now I just juggle money. I mean, don't get me wrong. So as a distributor, we have a lot of money coming in, but we have a lot of money going out. It's just remarkable. And just when the bank account starts looking healthy again, these guys will come to me with a list of shit that we need to order, and there it all goes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe I need to pick up on the graphic design hustle because I don't know. I feel like I'm at that point where every penny counts. I
Every
made it
penny
a
only
goal.
counts if you count it.
I've been trying to like have this goal that I'd have bought a house but before the end of the year. I've been getting some of your profits, one candy bar at a time. Those are Rick's profits, not mine. We actually
Yeah.
stopped sending those because everyone keeps complaining that they're melted by the time they get them. So we're gonna
Yeah,
wait
they
until the
don't.
fall.
Meanwhile, I keep eating them, which isn't good.
What is the best way to run a business?
Successfully. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a good person to ask that because
I heard something that kind of hit home and I related very well to it. And it's like not about how much money you make, but what you do with the money that you made. Because the way that I could relate with it was when I was 18, I got a job as a roof laborer and I made $10 an hour. And back when I was making $10 an hour, minimum wage was like $5 or $6 an hour. And I thought that was great money because I was making way more money than all my friends were. And with that kind of money, my habits got more expensive. I was eating out more. I was buying Air Force Ones and all this crap when I could have been just reinvesting in myself. And I noticed that was a problem, but my solution to that problem was I need to just do better and make more money. And I became a prepper. I was making $15 an hour, and it was like the same thing. I just got more expensive habits, started buying more useless crap, and my excuse was just wasn't making enough money, and my solution was I just need to do better and make more money. And finally I became an installer, and I was laying shingles for $20 an hour, and it was the same problem. And then I became a foreman, and I made $30 an hour laying shingles and telling people what to do, and it was the same problem. And it's like I didn't learn my lesson until real recently. It's I don't know. I just came to that conclusion. Like it's not about how much money you make. It's what are you doing with that money? How are you reinvesting in yourself? What other side hustles are you putting in?
Yeah. And
Yeah, I mean,
Scott
I get
Littler,
that, Scott.
no, I have to respectfully disagree though. Because my entire life I was just like you. The more I made, the more I spent. And I always felt that I had to make more than the people around me. And so I did, and all was great. But the people around me that was making less than me always seemed to have more than me because they seemed to be more responsible than me. What you do with your money is huge. How you spend your money is huge. I mean, I would spend all the money I had and still want more, and I'd get a credit card and, it'd be like 25% interest and I'd rack that sucker up. Meanwhile, my friends that make less than me, I'm sitting there with say $1,000 credit limit thinking, wow, they raised it from 500 to 1,000. I'm doing good. And they're sitting there with an empty $10,000 credit card, making less money than me, having more stuff than me, driving a nicer car than me. It's not about how much you make. It's what you do with it. It's how you use it. But see, I was never taught that growing up. I was taught that you have to make your own money if you want to do anything. And I wanted to do so much. So I was always chasing that. And to a point I still do because I bought a Jeep and that was dumb because I was doing really well. I was starting to look like those other guys. And now I'm just looking broke because
Well, like, and like kind of like the way I proved it to myself was, well, I was making $30 an hour 5 years ago, but I didn't have shit to show for it, And I don't make anywhere near $30 an hour today, and I have a lot more to show for it. I support my wife and my kid on top of like my, well, I guess I can't say my fridge being full is like my due to my success because I do get a bridge card. But
I guess
um
that's part of your success.
yeah, I guess.
But that ain't gonna last forever because, well,
uh,
you got choices to make over on the tent shop side of things.
and like
As
we were talking about what sets the generation before yours from generations like yours and mine and newer, and we're talking about the whole like us being in Michigan, like our whole state depended on the automotive big three forever, Ford, Chrysler, and GM. And if you notice now, we have a lot of ghetto cities. We have Pontiac, we have Detroit, we have Flint, and everyone's broke in poverty. But like those places didn't used to be like that. Those places used to be striving, big houses, very expensive. Um, but like all those people were working and had a union with benefits and worked under the care of financial advisors that like encouraged a little bit of financial education, and therefore they learned how to save properly, they learned how to reinvest their money, they learned about was it ROIs, I don't know, but
ROI.
401ks. Yeah, and then putting money into mutual funds and stuff like that, and like those people were set, and like I don't know, those people are dead and gone, and none of it got passed on to their children, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because they kind of like, it was spoon fed to them, so they maybe expected the younger generations would eventually get that same kind of info and knowledge spoon fed to them, but they're like not teaching the stuff in our schools.
No, no,
And
and the parenting through the generations, we've become really reliant on, and we talked about this earlier. But we've become really reliant on a dual income household which means that at home, a lot of the stuff isn't getting taught anymore either. So we're not handing down our learned experiences to our children because we're busy at work and stuff, and we come home. We want to make it the children time, not the learning time. So then we do that versus, when a parent was home all day with the child, it was huge because that parent also had a lot of input. I do want to touch on what DW says about how do I increase the business. I'm not really interested in increasing my prices. One thing that I learned, Dave, is that everybody wants to be on the lower end of the scale because that's the one that attracts the most attention. But what nobody realizes is that's the one that attracts the most price shoppers. So you get more phone calls, but less business, because if you're not the cheapest, you're not going to get the majority. Think of it like fishing, and you've got two ponds. One pond, we'll say, is the budget priced pond, and everybody fishes there because there's so many fish in that pond. But if you look at the number of people fishing in that pond, there's not a lot of fish for everybody. Then there's this higher price pond that there's really not that many fish in it. So it's like, well, I don't really want to fish over there because there's not that many fish. But there's only two people fishing the entire pond. So there's so many more fish in that other pond for you to catch, that what people realize is once they raise their prices and change ponds, there is a lot more customers for them. And it's eye-opening for sure. Being more expensive than everybody else, you start weeding out the phone calls. But you also have to be seen. I mean, how well are you seen? Do you have a business page? Do you have a website? Do you look professional? When people are searching and they search Google for window tint shops near me, do you come up? Where do you come up? Those are important things too. But don't ever underestimate the power of becoming out of the price range of other shops. And your website being junk, that's not as harmful as you would think. But every little thing helps. What is going to be key is Google. You want to be seen on Google. When you search window tint near me, and don't do it from your regular browser that you use. Go to an incognito window and search window tint near me, and see if you pop up. And if you don't, start working on your Google business page, because you need to add activity to it, add pictures to it every now and again, add hours to it. Google algorithm looks at stuff like that. They will start showing you if you're, oh, my phone thinks I'm talking to it. They will start showing you more when they think that your business is valid. And I don't mean valid like you're open, because there's a bazillion different options for Google to show. But they want to show this person doing the search. Why do you think Google is the largest and best search engine on the internet? Because they pay attention to what the person searching for wants to see. And they do that by looking at what the options are that they have to show look like, and the interaction and this and that. And a lot of that is, how much time do you spend with your Google account? When we first opened our brick and mortar shop, we paid a company to bring up they built us a landing page so that we looked like we had a website. It was just a junky little page that did exactly what it needed to do. Because typically if somebody finds your website, the main thing they're looking for is a phone number. So it had a phone number, our location, and just some words that helped us in a Google search. Nothing really that the customer cared to read, and a few fancy pictures. But the Google page was very relevant. And what they did also was they pushed on a lot of those lower class third party pages that didn't really matter. that nobody uses those search engines, but we were there because Google sees those and says, oh, these guys must be somebody because look at all the locations they're popping up on the interwebs. And so Google says, let's put them up ahead. And so in our area, when you search tent shops near me, we still, and we haven't used that company in years, and we still come up on top. They did what they needed to do, and they were expensive. They were like $350 a month. And for the first 3 months, we saw zero results because they had to build into it. But I've learned since then that every now and again, I got to post some pictures on there. I got to change some things around. When Google sends me an email and asks me if I'm going to be open on a holiday, I need to answer because those are all important for Google to keep me up in front of people. And probably 90% of your customers that will find you are going to find you on Google. And because everybody picks up their phone and they're like, window tinting near me. And the first 3 or 4 things that come up, those are who they call. So so Dave, you can work around your schedule. I forget what it's called. I think it's Google Voice, or maybe they changed the name of it now. But Google offers a free service that'll give you a business phone number free of charge. It's a
OIP.
VoIP. It's a VoIP service, which is really cool because you'll have an app on your phone and you can set hours. So if you have a schedule, make sure your Google business page has that schedule. You're available to take calls. Put it on there. I'm open if you're in school, whatever times you're in school, make sure that you're going to be out of school and able to answer your phone and make those your hours. And people will still call you and they'll call you inside of those hours. Now, obviously, if you're not open during regular business hours, you might miss a lot of calls because that's when people think they're supposed to look. But you'd be amazed at how many people at 7 o'clock at night are looking for a place to get their windows tinted. Our phone blows up overnight, but our phones shut off at 6 o'clock. So, and I'm not talking about Sun Distributing, I'm talking about the tint shop. And some people leave messages, some people don't, but you get a call log. And now we don't use Google Voice's free option because we have like 10 lines. So we have a little bit going on and we have to pay for all that. So we use a company called Ring Central, and I believe they're like $40 or $45 a month per line. I think they're like $45 a month per line because we got like 10 lines and it's like $450 a month. It's retarded. But the nice thing about that is you can set your schedule in it and just make sure that schedule coincides with what's on your Google page. Well, then how do people contact you? Do you have a phone number listed? Because people want a
I'm on
phone
this
number.
website.
Okay.
Oh, there is no phone number on his website. DW,
Okay.
what are you
So
doing?
that if there's no phone number on your website, and that's the main reason people are going to contact you or click on your website is to find out how to get a hold of you. So
He's
how
got a
about a
contact.
Google listing? And how many of us actually ever fill out those contact forms and wait for somebody to call us back? Because I know I don't. I just don't. If I don't have a phone number, I'm moving on to the next person. That's just how I am.
I'm gonna call David tonight. I'm gonna get him together.
Get his shit together, Alex.
I got you, Dave, because I love you so much. You're like my little brother.
Alex, he looks nothing like you.
Kinda. Who knows? None of my siblings look like me.
They're all adopted.
One side is all Southern Belles, the other side are Asian as hell. So
Yes, you need a phone number. A phone number. I mean, I think if you're not going to have a phone number on your website, you should make the biggest heading you can. Just send smoke signals. I'll reply. Because, I mean, people want a place to call. And if you do get a phone number, you can also put a nifty little thing on your website that will allow you to text back and forth with the customer. Now we don't have that, but you know, society is going over to text. And people love that. We try to, when somebody messes up on an order or we suspect they messed up on an order and we need to call the customer, probably 99 out of 100 times they don't answer the phone because I don't know, it's today's society. Back in my day, we lived dangerously. The phone rang, we didn't have caller ID. You know how we knew who was calling? We picked up the phone and said hello. But nowadays you don't do that. No, I don't know this number. I'm not answering it. So we've started just texting people because that's another neat part of our VoIP system is it allows us to text. And all of our computers have the app on it. Our phones have the app on it. And so we can text from our phone. We can text from the computer. We can call you from the computer. We can call you from our phone. We can call you from the desk phone. And they all work the same through that number. So it's super handy.
And you know what's really cool about text messages is that, like, so if you call somebody and you don't know the number, you ignore it, right? But if an unknown number texts you and you open up your message folder, it still shows you 2 lines of text in your message box. So, like, if you can, like, put something crafty in that first line or two, like, people are going to be like, oh, this is what this is about.
Yeah, be like, dude, did you see this picture of your sister? And like, then space, blank, blank. And then you can give them the message and they'll open it 100% of the time. Unless they don't have a sister. Mm-hmm. Yep. Check back with me for more sound business advice. That was a joke. Alex is sitting there with that look on his face like, oh my God, did he just say that?
I'm reading the comments.
Oh, I thought you were like astounded, like, oh my God. No, I'm not being serious. But yeah, if you can get your point across in the first couple lines, people will look at it and see it. And I'm not that smart. Me, I introduce myself and stuff in the first couple lines of text, and then the body of the message has what I'm trying to say, and so they ignore me anyway. So I've had emails recently too, but no one has booked, so I'm doing something wrong. Emails take too long, dude. We are in a now generation. I want it now. I want answers now. I want to schedule now. If they have to email you, by the time you get back to them, they're already booked with somebody else because somebody else answered their phone.
Also,
I am telling you, true story.
Never mind. I'm thinking wrong. Well, no, I'm trying to like think. So like Tent Squad, someone calls or someone emails or someone texts. Like we don't seal the deal over text, phone, or I think like the more of the goal is to get that person through the door, and then you sell once they enter through the door.
Yeah, we book a job, and so when we book a job, also they let them know that this is the price for the entry level film, but we do offer three different films, and we can discuss those options when you get here. And it gives them something to look forward to. It gives them something like, what other options? I didn't even know, and so that's super cool, and you get a lot of upsells that way too. But it also engages them.
Yeah.
We,
And I
unlike
mean,
other
yeah.
shops, most other shops have reverted to taking, because that's something that COVID broke is, people making appointments and then showing up. It's gotten real bad, but we do pretty good still getting customers to show up, and we don't do deposits, which is weird. What was you going to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, and like, once you get them through that door, very rarely have I seen a person come in and be like, "All right, that's all I wanted to know," and then walk out without getting a tint job. Like, I want to say, like 95% of the people that walk through that door come out with a completed tint job.
Well, that's because we scheduled them on the phone call.
That's
It's rare
that
that
yeah.
we have a contact form on our website, and they can email us through Google on our Google page, and we get those. But the problem is, those ones that Charles told you don't worry about while we were on vacation. Yeah, those are important because here and there we do book off of those, but it's rare. Usually those are just a waste of time, but you still got to answer them because it it allows people to know that you will answer them even if they booked with somebody else. It's not their last car of their life unless they're going to die in the next couple of years, so just because you don't book this customer this time, if you make a decent impression and they don't have a wonderful experience the next time, people aren't loyal by nature. Customers, they want a good tint job. They expect a good tint job. So no matter where they go, if they get a good tint job, all they did was got what they expected. That's like, being loyal to where you go and buy a snack when you're hungry. If you're driving along and you see a gas station with a convenience store inside, you'll pull over and buy a bag of chips. It doesn't have to be a specific type of gas station, or it doesn't even have to be a gas station. You see a convenience store and you'll stop and buy chips or whatever, and people with window tint are real similar unless you give them an experience that they want to come back to. And that could be as simple as just being personable with them, striking up a conversation. Now, being a one person operation, it makes it difficult to strike up a conversation. That's another place where having front counter help is wonderful, because if a customer's waiting for the job and your counter person has a decent personality and is willing to talk to strangers, it it's wonderful. But also, there's a lot of other things that you can add in there to make their experience something they didn't expect, something that they want to come back to. But a lot of times, just because you don't get a customer booked or a potential customer booked and they get their car tinted somewhere else, doesn't mean you've lost that opportunity forever. Just this particular car. We have a long life ahead of us and a lot of cars in front of us. So, Dave, I think the reality of what you're facing, and this might be kind of a harsh truth, but the reality of what you're facing is that you're not ready to have a business. So, maybe look a little bit more at, it's nice to be able to get some side work and stuff and go at it at that angle and create your own hustle. But sometimes it's better to go work for somebody that can work around your schedule, that can create the business for you. And then when you're ready, one, during the time that you're working for somebody, if you're constantly learning from them. I didn't start my business in 2013 after 22 years of being, or whatever years of being a tinner, and become successful immediately because I got lucky. I spent 22 years working for other people and learning from them. And that's huge because I went into it knowing what to do and what not to do. When you start with zero experience, there is so many variables and factors that is just crazy.
Hey,
I cannot
so
work for anyone because I signed a non-compete with someone when I was going to work with them. Are you saying that you did not work for them? Because and how deep are their pockets? Because it costs a lot of money to challenge a non-compete. Just saying.
dude, so I'm looking at a town very close to David Weimer, and right off rip, I found 6 detail shops, and none of those shops mention anything about window tinting.
Dude, the one account that we kept out of 16 is a detail shop. Why? Because one day a week they give us $50,000 a year.
Dude, just pick one day out
One
of the week.
day
Talk
a
to them.
week they give us $50,000 a year.
And then you don't even
We,
have to be the salesman. Just have them hang a banner and then let their counter people take care of the sales.
and they already have the business walking through the door. It's a no-brainer. And then you don't have to worry about the non-compete because you're not going to work for another tint shop.
I'm
But
talking about
that
Butler,
that
Butler,
that
PA.
non-compete, Dave, send that to me. I want to see it because it's I call bullshit. Especially if you never worked for the person.
Yep. There you go. Well, I seen it looked like there is someone. I was looking at Saxonburg, and it looks like someone kind of has that area down lock, and it looks like a fairly smaller town. Let me guess, is that who your non-compete with is?
Yeah. To chat to try to enforce that non-compete, one, if it did go all the way through court, chances are he would lose. It's going to cost him a lot of money to go to court, and it's going to cost him a lot of time. Now, on the same note, if he does have the money and the time, it's going to cost you money and time too to fight with him. But chances are that non-compete is bullshit and it ain't going to go anywhere.
And then the benefit of working through a detail shop where it's going through their business and their sales personnel's, doesn't that kind of like put him in the clear even if the non-compete was serious enough?
Well, you'll go to him as a subcontractor. So I don't know. Let me see the non-compete and see what it says and everything. But I'm 90% sure that we're gonna call bullshit on it. So
No, don't call
um
it walk. Go there.
yeah, you're not gonna land one single account ever over the phone. Of the 16 that we had, not one of them was landed over the phone. Now, a couple of them they heard about us and they wanted in, so they called us, and but we still went in there. And the way that we got our accounts is we enticed them. We were like, look, let me show what we can do. This is our scheduling criteria. So we told them, just so that we knew that whatever tinner we put in there could handle it. We want an hour for a set of doors, 2 hours for a complete. And what the hell?
Did you
And
have to sell them on the film? Because like, what happens if you get one
No.
of those people that are like, we gotta have 3M?
no, we had shops like that, and it was like, well, then find a 3M company that'll come in here and do this for you. But this is what we use. This is what we offer, and we warranty it. So I don't think you need to worry about it. It's going to take care of your customers. But the way we landed the accounts was I would go in there, I would give them my spiel, what it's going to cost them, understand that it's not going to make you a fortune, but it's going to service your customers that you already have, and it's going to get some more of their money in your pocket. And just to let you know, I'm going to give you such and such a day. I want you to book as many jobs as you can for that day, and I'm going to come in and do every one of those jobs free of charge, just to give you a taste of what we're talking about. And they would book a day. I would go in there. I would tint for that day free of charge. And that would become their day moving forward. And then from that time forward, we would just bill them for the work that we did. But the free day, it isn't necessary, but it's an attention getter. Because let's say that you're going in there and you're telling them, like in today's world, tell them they need to charge $300 for a complete or $120 for a set of doors. And you can do 4 completes in a day for them. Okay. And that's a great starting point. You walk in there, they have 4 completes lined up in their head. They're like $300 each. That's $1,200. He's going to give me free. I might as well at least take that. Then you go in there and you do a great job and don't have any problems. And if you do have any problems, don't let them know you're having problems. Just do a good job. At the end of the day, be like, what'd you think? They're going to have $1,200 extra in their pocket. That was a gift from you to them. And of course, you're going to get the account. I mean, it was a flawless design by me. A lot of people scoffed at me for giving free work away, but was it really free work? I had one account that before I dropped them, I had billed them out for just shy of $2 million in the time we did business with them. I mean, was that free day really, a big deal? No, not at all. To the limit is 3M, even the kid whose house I use is like, well, they're 3M. Why aren't you? Because I personally rather use a company that focuses more on the product that they sell rather than the promotion of the product that they sell. And 3M is a promotion company. 3M is in every household. It's not because it's the best. It's because they make the most influence. And if that's what you want, I have a better product. But if you want that product, I could probably get it for you. But I choose not to use their product. And that's how I answer that question. And I people don't question me. And as much opportunity, we maxed out at 16 accounts, not because that's all that's available in Southeast Michigan, but I mean, that was the most that we could do. Everyone was busting ass, working hard, making well over $100,000 a year, just wearing themselves out. We couldn't take anymore. In fact, when I decided to stop chasing tinners, as they left, I started dropping accounts because we couldn't. We had more work than we could do. So if somebody says, well, how come you don't this? I want this. That is fine. Turn around, walk away. When another thing you're going to run into, if you do this and you start building it, some of these hot shot business owners are going to start trying to tell you how to run your business. Be willing to walk away. There is always more accounts out there. Once you start learning how to land accounts, you'll notice that you don't need any of them because there are so many of them. You just need to take the ones that want you as bad as you want them, take good care of them. And the ones that want to push you around like you're their employee, find somebody else. Because that's just how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is my favorite type of topic.
Hell yeah.
Makes me want to go out and get some accounts, but I don't have any fucking tinners, so. And it's also something that when you fill up your week with accounts, you're going to have to hire somebody, but that's okay because there's money to pay them. And to give you an idea, while we were doing that, mine and Mary's son Charles, I taught him to tint, and he was going to college, and he learned to tint, and now he's a full-time tinner with a master's degree, and he's not willing to go do what he went to school for because he doesn't want to take a pay cut. And he likes doing what he does. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some days he doesn't act like he likes it because, he stresses too much, but that's just his personal nature. He's that way no matter what he does. He gets a video game, you should see him. He loses his shit because he's not the best as soon as he turns it on.
It's
Only
almost
people
that
I let tell
time.
me how to anything are the ones who've shown me they've laid a window better than me. What if I can't lay a window better than you? It's been a while since I tinted something. I'm pretty sure I can, though. God, the more and more we do this, I might have to tint my own damn truck just so everybody can see it. But I don't want to. How's that? I just don't want to.
I think the kids nowadays are saying something like "Rick the goat, no cap." I'm not sure what it means, but it's probably something along the lines of "That's cool as fuck." I don't know.
I
Are you gonna say
have no idea what you just said. You'll have to break that down for me.
A truck tint stream like a river?
Yeah, flowing from a truck.
There we go.
Y'all goofy. Hey, is Facebook chat still working?
I don't
Because
know.
I
It's
feel like I
gone.
haven't seen a Facebook comment. Well, actually, Larry commented, Trace commented too. So, but that was a while ago, and every comment since has been Dave.
Goat, greatest of all time. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the greatest of all times, but I don't compete. I don't challenge other people. I don't try to be better than anybody. So I have had a lot of people tell me you're the best tuner I've ever seen, and I don't understand that. I mean, I can't do a full vehicle in 20 minutes. I don't think. I don't think I've ever tried. But yep, Trace is still here, still working. No cap is like no doubt. Definitely stuff like that. We need to keep Dave around because he'll school us on the hip stuff until he gets too old. Then we'll have to trade him in for a younger model.
Nice. I'm tired. I want to go home and go to sleep. Ugh.
I was up late last night. Oh my God, it's 5:53. You know what time it is, guys? It's time to start winding this thing down. Because that's how we roll anyway.
Time to start Weimering down.
Weimering down. Dave, I want to know are things, because you're young, you're 23, because you just said so. So, like in high school and middle school or junior high or whatever it is you have, did they make fun of your name? Did they make funny little stupid hate shit for your name? Because like that was like a big thing when I was a kid. It obviously didn't ruin me, but I was just
It
wondering
was
because
definitely a thing for me when I was a kid.
what'd they call you, Alex?
Oh, I don't even want to go there. But I'd always get like quit putzing around, shit like that.
Oh, Is the wheel even a thing anymore at DW? It's time for the wheel. No, the wheel's not really a thing anymore. We should bring out the wheel. Maybe next week.
Next week. Brian's yelling at me.
I don't know.
What do you want?
Okay.
Oh, I'm on my way. Bye, guys.
It's not. You got 6 minutes left. Tell him he is waiting. He came in at 2:00 today. He is going to stay till the end of the day.
You can't wait 6 more minutes. He doesn't want to.
He does.
Bathroom.
All right, guys. Looks like we're going to get out of here about 5 minutes
I'm
early
outta here.
today. Alex is out of here because insubordination.
Rick wants Brian wants to know when you want him tomorrow.
Ryan?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not a tool talk topic. Oh. So, yeah. All right. So, we're going to boogie on out of here, guys. And like always, until next time, if you don't see me before, I'll see you next